The city is dark. Streetlights glow like faint stars. Rain falls slow, a soft and steady rhythm on the asphalt. Cars move like small boats navigating a quiet black river. The camera of the mind floats above it all. The view goes up, lifting past the highest rooftops. The city meets the vast, silent night sky. Stars fill the frame, scattered diamonds on dark velvet. The scene feels still. The sound is a low and deep hum, the city breathing in its sleep. It is a quiet place for a strange question to form, a question that ripples through the stillness of what we think we know. Have you ever been completely sure about a small fact, a detail from your childhood, a line from a film, the spelling of a familiar brand? You believe it with full and unwavering trust. The term Mandela Effect was coined by a paranormal researcher named Fiona Broome. She discovered she and many others shared a vivid memory of Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s. They remembered news clips. They remembered public mourning. Of course, this never happened. Nelson Mandela was released from prison in 1990 and later became president of South Africa. He passed away in 2013. The gap between the shared memory and historical fact was so stark it needed a name. The Mandela Effect became the label for large groups collectively misremembering the same specific detail. One famous example comes from The Empire Strikes Back. Countless people quote Darth Vader as saying, "Luke, I am your father." That phrase appears on merch and in parodies. But in the film, the line is different. The real dialogue is, "No, I am your father." The added "Luke" feels natural, context invented by collective memory, not the script. Another example, the Berenstain Bears. Many remember the spelling as Berenstein with an E. When they check the books now, the spelling has always been Berenstain. A single letter error, yet widespread. To get to the heart of the Mandela Effect, we must abandon a common misconception about memory. Our brains do not play back past events like a video camera. Memory is not a digital file that we retrieve in its original pristine form. Memory is a process of reconstruction. When we remember an event, our brain does not simply replay it. Instead, it actively rebuilds the memory from scattered pieces of information stored across different neural pathways. We store the essential pieces, the emotional tone, the key details. But each time we recall the event, we are effectively building it anew, like an architect drawing up a blueprint from old notes. This process of rebuilding is where errors can slip in. The brain is a master of efficiency, and it will often fill in gaps in our memory with plausible information. It uses inference, logic, what seems likely to create a complete and coherent story. This is known as confabulation, and it is not a sign of a faulty brain. It is a normal part of its function. We might borrow a detail from a similar memory, incorporate a suggestion, add a logical but incorrect assumption. Over time, small edits can become integrated, feeling authentic, the latest version refined by countless reconstructions. Beyond the basic mechanics of reconstruction, our memories are constantly being shaped by cognitive biases. These are systematic patterns of deviation from rationality, mental shortcuts that help us move fast, but can nudge memories away from objective truth. One powerful bias is confirmation bias. We tend to search for, interpret, and recall information that confirms what we already believe. You might misremember parodies or discussions as evidence. The brain validates what it expects and dismisses contradictions. That creates a feedback loop. Another shortcut is misattribution of memory. The core idea sticks, the context fades. The memory feels real, but its source is misplaced. Finally, the fluency effect. Easier to process info feels truer. Luke, I am your father, reads smoother. Over time, that preference can rewrite memory. These biases quietly shape our past without us noticing. They are the invisible architects behind shared false memories like the Mandela Effect. Well, It's kind of eerie and fascinating. While memory reconstruction and cognitive biases explain individual distortion, they do not fully address the central puzzle. The real mystery is the consistency. Why do so many different people share the exact same false memory? Why do large groups misremember the Berenstain Bears with an E, or insert the word Luke into the line? The chorus around a single, specific, incorrect detail suggests more than random errors. Social and cultural factors come into focus. The way information spreads through a society. A false memory can be transmitted like a viral meme. Confidence plants the seed, especially where memory is hazy. This is social contagion of memory. An error made by one can be adopted by many. As believers grow, social proof cements it. If everyone remembers it this way, it must be true. Media plays an enormous role. Parodies, jokes, articles, merchandise, TV shows, movies, advertisements. People encounter the incorrect version more than the original. As the Mandela Effect gained notoriety online, some explanations moved beyond psychology into speculative physics. Captivating, yet lacking scientific evidence. One popular theory invokes parallel universes and multiple timelines, countless realities coexisting, people sliding between them. It validates memory. The memory is real, but the world has changed. Reality as a braided river. We occasionally drift across currents, carrying residual memories. Quantum mechanics is strange at the subatomic scale. Borrowing its language for macroscopic reality is poetic, not empirical. Mainstream science finds no evidence of universe shifts or quantum changes to logos or quotes. Psychological explanations are more testable. Still, these ideas act as modern myths and thought experiments, reminding us reality can feel pliable. While quantum theories remain speculative, collective consciousness offers a grounded way to think about shared memory. Thinkers like Carl Jung spoke of shared images, myths, archetypes. Today, culture and media form our collective mind. Media acts like an externalized global brain, storing, repeating, shaping information. Stories, brands, historical narratives live in the cultural ecosystem. A line doesn't just exist in a film. It propagates through parodies, reviews, conversations. A logo doesn't just exist on a product. It multiplies through ads and public space. Errors can become more familiar than truth. The collective consciousness adopts the error as fact. Echo chambers reinforce it. Algorithms amplify what engages. A viral post or video spreads globally. Our digital collective doesn't just reflect errors, it amplifies them until they feel universal. To stretch our minds and consider the Mandela Effect from a different angle, let us engage in a thought experiment. Imagine our universe, consciousness, and memories are part of an advanced simulation. The trees, the stars, your own thoughts, generated by code, a philosophical idea from Plato to the present. Now imagine a patch, a tiny change to base code. Change a book from Berenstain to Berenstain. Those spawned after the patch know only Berenstain, but beings from before retain memories recorded from the old code, creating a glitch between memory and the updated world. If universal, it explains shared false memories. Their memory isn't false, it's outdated. We can't prove or disprove the simulation, but it helps us feel the world changing, not just our memories. The Mandela Effect is not just something to read about, it is something you can explore firsthand. Simple exercises reveal how fragile and creative memory is, not to breed doubt, but curiosity and humility. Pick a small, certain fact, song lyric, specific date, or film detail. Write it down precisely without looking it up. Set it aside, wait at least a day, then verify and compare. Note differences, often surprising. Run a small social experiment. What does the Monopoly Man look like? What does Darth Vader say? Record answers. Discuss why misremembers happen. Keep a 1-week diary of specific sensory details. At month's end, revisit and recall. See what stayed sharp, what blurred or changed. Memory isn't a fixed photograph. It's a watercolor that can blur and blend over time. In the end, the Mandela Effect serves as a gentle and persistent reminder. Our perception is not a direct reflection of reality, but a story we tell ourselves, co-authored by our brains, our biases, and our culture. We can look at memory reconstruction, study social contagion, and the power of media. Clear, rational explanations show how we can be so sure of what was never true. Yet a small space for wonder remains. The feeling of the glitch does not always fade with logic. We can hold both, the scientific and the speculative. Appreciate the elegant mechanics of the brain while enjoying questions posed by simulations or parallel worlds. We need not choose between scientist and dreamer. The phenomenon invites both critical thinking and open imagination. The city seems the same. The lights still glow. The rain still falls. The stars still shine. But perhaps our view has shifted just a little. The quiet hum of the universe continues, and our minds build the past, one reconstructed moment at a time. The world is a story, and we are learning how it is told.